I don't need a man, but I want a man. Now, this is something I want to discuss with you guys today, because this is the whole strong, independent woman mantra. I am independent and I don't need a man, but I want a man. Let's discuss it. Let's break it down, shall we?
Tell you something, a real man is not intimidated by a woman that doesn't need you. I am self-sufficient. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. But guess what? I want you, and that's the difference. That's the difference. And if I choose you, that's not to say, oh, because I make my own money, that means no man can buy me something or do anything. No, I have my money. It goes in the bank. You buy me dinner.
I can make my own money. It goes in the bank. You could still buy me things. That don't mean that I'm not going to take it. In other words, she's basically saying, my money is my money. Your money is also my money. That is literally what she's saying. But listen, guys, before we continue, before we get into this awesome video today, you know the drill. If you've been here before, please like the video. Let the YouTube algorithm know that, hey, this guy's spitting some facts. Let them know so that they can push the video out to more and more people. And also, listen, if you guys want to book a session with me, you need to get something off your chest, you need some mentoring, go to askanolderman.com and book a session. It's very inexpensive. I'm making it inexpensive for the average guy to be able to get some help. Hey, listen, this channel is designed for the average guy and woman, okay? It's not designed for the wealthy. I want to be able to help everybody. And finally, if you guys just want to send me a quick message, quick note that you want me to respond to, get me over on Instagram, on Ask an Older Man on Instagram, and send me a voice message. It's easy. I can listen it in the car, I can listen somewhere else, and it's easy for me to respond in voice messages instead of trying to type. I'm not into the typing thing. Okay? So with that said, let's get back into this particular subject. I don't need a man, I want a man. So this subject I thought I would approach because I got a lot of responses from women who are basically saying, she's a strong, independent woman. She don't need a man. She just wants a man. But I want to try to break this down for you guys, because when you listen to females in their double speak, you have to break it down critically to understand what women are saying. And gentlemen, I want you guys to learn this lesson. And ladies, I want you to listen to what I'm saying and realize what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Because this whole idea of need and want, in your eyes, I'm telling you, it's the same damn thing. Now, let's look at the word need. Most of you think a need is simply something that you must have, right? You must have it. A want is something that you desire. You don't must have it, but it would be great if you have it and it would make you feel better. What's the difference between need and want? There's not much difference. So let's look at the dictionary definition of need. Require, because it is essential or very important rather than just desirable. That is a need. Because it is essential or very important rather than just desirable. That's what a need is. Now let's look at the definition of want. To have or feel need. To be necessary or needed. To suffer from the lack of. Okay? So that is the definition of want. So if we're just talking colloquially in street language, in normal everyday language, need and want, there's not a big difference between it. So let's break it down in female speech. When a woman say, I don't need a man, she's literally saying the man is not required to protect or to provide for me. Which is the two most desired thing required from a man? Protection and provision. But protection and provision of what? This is what a lot of women don't realize. because all they're thinking about is protecting her from harm from other men, and provision is providing enough money so she don't feel that she needs to use her own money. Understand the difference? Okay? Because in reality, all adults, all of us as adults, are taught from kids, whether you're male or female, you should be taught to cook, clean, work, make your own money, live within your means, and provide for yourself. That does not require another person. Every woman should be taught that shit. Not just men. But because back in the day, most women didn't work, she would have had to find a man to take her from her father's home and take him into his home as a wife, because that man would then provide for her. But these are modern times. Women are taught in schools, they went to school, they went to colleges, they're making their money, they're doing their own thing. So they don't need financial provision. However, like this woman say, I want to be able to put my money in the bank and he can buy the dinners. Basically, that's her saying, my money is my money, your money is our money. That's what she's basically saying there, because that's how all women think. Remember, women do not make money to provide for a husband, kids, and a home. She makes money so that she can be independent of men. You know what? Myron says it here best, because he really broke it down in this one video, and I thought this was the best way I should explain it to you.
What does that have to do with women building and moving in?
What do you mean? My mom built everything by herself. She never accepted money from nobody. She never even accepted child support
But ask
from my
yourself a
father.
question. Who did she build it up for?
She built it up for us children.
But not a man, is my point.
No, why would she have to build it up for a man? The man should have it himself.
Do you not see the point I'm trying to make here? That when women make excess resources, they don't share it with men, but when men make excess resources, they share it with women? Men make money, right, and become successful so that they can have a family dependent upon them. Women, on the other hand, make money, become successful so they can be independent of men. There's a difference.
And that, my friends, sums it up nicely. So if you take that into consideration, and I've said this in other videos many times, that is man's purpose. So women are saying, I don't need that man for that purpose anymore, but I want a man. So now the man has to come in and provide all the things that he's not traditionally used to providing. So now she wants emotional support. So he has to come in and be her best friend as well. Back in the day, most men worked their asses off. There was no cell phones to check in. There was no texts. And where are you? Back in my day, we started with the rotary phone, right? When my father went to work, my mother never saw his ass again until the next day sometimes, because he worked at night, right? The reality of it is most couples never saw their partner or even made contact with their partner from the time the husband left from work in the morning until he's commuted back and got his butt back in the house by 7, 8 o'clock at night, if he had to do a long commute from the city or from wherever job he was on after he did a few hours overtime. There was no communication. By then he got home, he literally passed out. Hopefully the wife has a good hot meal ready for him. He kisses her good night and he'd do it again the next day. That's the reality of life. But today's modern woman, they expect a man to be a psychologist, a best friend, that gay guy that knows her best outfit, every single freaking thing. The man has many other roles to fulfill and still work, of course. Because even if she's making money, he got to make more money than her, or at least equal, because she's not interested in him after that. You know, I'll tell you this. Here's my personal experience, right? I have never had a desk job, like literally where I had to go to an office or go anywhere for a job, since I was 24 years old, right? I've always been self-employed since then. And every single relationship, my ex-wife, every single relationship I've been in, they have always been women who went out to work, went to the office. My ex is a lawyer. My current wife is a corporate executive. All my other girlfriends, they pretty much had full-time jobs. Nothing irked them more than when they had to kiss me goodbye in the morning, when they had to rush out of the house, and I'm sitting there watching TV, having my cup of tea, or coffee, relaxing until I start my day when I want to start it. Kill them. It drove them insane because women naturally get frustrated when they see a man sitting on their ass when they got to go and work. And even though I made a ton more money than them, just that sight alone drove them insane. Up until this day. Up until this day, 19 years I've been married to my current wife, right? She basically still kisses me, go, okay, your wife is going off to work hard now. And I'm like, all right, good. You go, girl. You go. It's not like I don't work. It's just that I don't work on a schedule. Sometimes when she's sleeping 10, 11 o'clock at night, I'm still doing my work in front of my computer because I do a lot of online digital work, you know, including this channel. What I'm trying to get across to you is women don't want to see a man sitting on his ass while she is hustling. He better be working as much as her. You get my point? But gentlemen, we now have to get along in this environment where women are basically saying, we don't need you to survive, but we want you. Because for them, that's empowering. But really, don't they need us? Don't they need us? Need for companionship. Still for protection. Okay, she might have an alarm system on her door and the ring doorbell and all of that shit. But immediate protection, walking out of the door, someone breaks in the house. Police takes 15, 20 minutes to get there. But the mere fact that his presence is in the house, that's protection enough for other men to say, all right, there's a man in the house. He might have a gun, he might have a baseball bat. I'm going to stay away from that house. But the most basic requirement that every single human being needs, not just women, is companionship. This is vital for our own survival, long-term survival. You don't believe me? Watch this movie called Blue Zone on Netflix. And it's basically identifying the places around the world, the diet, and the social interaction with other human beings that make people in certain areas live to over 100 years old, healthy. Not decrepit, no dementia, healthy. When I see a 100-year-old man riding the back of a horse in almost full gallop, right? Blew my freaking mind. This was in Costa Rica. My point is that when you have a social interaction with other human beings, keeps your blood pressure low, keeps your stress levels low, and it also makes you healthier. And this is part of the human experience that a lot of people tend not to put a lot of value on until that last person leaves at night. That man gets up out of the bed and goes to his house. And when you feel that sense of loneliness.
Most of the time I love being single. I am very comfortable being single. But tonight I hung out with friends and I had a great time. And then I was driving home and I started feeling this like wave of depression and anxiety. And I wasn't really sure what it was related to or where it was stemming from. And then I got home and I felt like just so sad and lonely. And I walked into my empty apartment and I thought, God, I wish that I had someone who could just hold me right now. Like, I wish that I had someone who could just take care of me, because I have to take care of myself every single day and it's fucking exhausting. And I just want someone to take care of me every now and then.
When something happens exciting in your day and you want to share it with somebody special, and you call your best friend and she's not answering because she has her family. Oh, sorry girl, I couldn't answer. I was with my kids in the other room. Oh, I had to drop my husband off to this. Oh, my kids were doing this. Sorry, I couldn't get back to you right there. What happening?
Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly, I've been feeling like this a lot lately. It's love. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself. I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. It's not about being lonely, so I just want somebody. No, I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired. You know, it's really hard when love is the one thing you can't force, you can't make happen. It has to just show up, but where is it? Where is it? I'm so ready, and I have a beautiful life waiting for the perfect man to show up. But where is he? You know, I'm 53. And I just can't believe that I'm sitting here, and it has been several years. I think it was over a year that I had a date, and then it's been several years since then. Where are all the good men that are ready and want to build a beautiful life together?
Reality is simply this. We are social creatures. That's it. We need social interaction in order for us to be happy. The problem is, here's the biggest issue. Everybody is acting like we don't need each other as males and females. All we're doing is living this delusion, this lie. It's a lie. And we know it's a lie. But no one, especially the females, no one will come out and say, hey, this isn't working for me. Until now, women are now starting to come out and say, this feminist bullshit, it's a lie. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because this video here went viral over TikTok, and it shows you exactly how a lot of women are feeling. Because I can tell you, it has been shared so many times, it's not funny.
Anyone know how I can cancel my membership to the whole feminist movement? Because it's not giving what it was supposed to give, so I'm no longer interested. Even the word feminist, what is feminine about me working hard and paying bills? Back then I'm singing independent. I don't know what possessed me to be singing such nonsense. It was the work of the devil, to be wanting equal this and equal that. How the man to be doing demanding things and the woman to be doing damsel in distress. Oh, I don't know what I would do without you. Because me, I need the man. For every little thing I want to be calling my man. Because who'll be reaching the top shelf for me? Who'll be killing spiders? Fine babe like me should be coming and killing spiders. Do I like Xena the warrior princess? Listen, I don't know who brainwashed us. I don't know who started the movement, if it was Susan B. Anthony and the suffrage rights. But I'm suffering more today than I was yesterday. So please, whoever's in charge, unsubscribe me from the list. Cancel the membership now!
And this, my friends, is what a lot of women are now saying. They realize that they've been lied to. Because this whole movement towards pushing a woman into this independent lifestyle did not elevate women to this new freaking point in which she's happier. There are more unhappy women now than you've ever seen it. And it wasn't a male movement that did this.
If women are getting what they want, why are women so unhappy? So apparently since the 70s, women have become more and more unhappy. But that's funny because it seems to me that the rights of women, the feminists have won. So if the feminists have won and we have all the freedoms and all the equalities, then why are women reporting lower happiness levels than men or the same?
So that you ladies understand, it was feminism that was the major movement that pushed women into a whole different way of thinking. Now granted, were there some changes that was required? Absolutely. Equality is something I completely support. Equality of outcome? Hell no. Superiority and pushing women into an elevated position that they didn't work or cannot work for? Hell no. No, nothing like that I would support. The only thing I support is equality. Equality of opportunities. If a woman wants to get out there and hustle and beat it out with men, she has that perfect right to do that. But what she cannot do is this.
A woman should never ask a man to provide more than he can provide. Mm-hmm. That's wrong. A woman should always live within the man's means. And if the man has the means, great. If he doesn't, don't ask for it. Yeah. And if you want more, work together to build it up.
Exactly. Now this video brings it home nicely because what has happened is women have pushed themselves to an elevated position, much higher now. More women are in colleges, women are making more money. But remember, hypergamy. Hypergamy means that a woman, once she has reached this elevated position, can no longer settle for a man below her. A woman never marries down in her eyes. The man has to be either on her level or above her. All studies have shown anywhere between 27 to 35% a woman wants a man above her. That means in money making and in education. The minute your woman becomes more educated than you, she gets this idea that she's now smarter than you, she's more superior than you. The minute a woman makes more money than you, you're a broke ass in her eyes. Regardless of how much money you were making in the past, she now feels superior to you. And anytime a woman feels more superior to you in the home, gentlemen, your life will be a nightmare because it's outside the boundaries of nature. And ladies, so that you understand how a man feels in this respect, right? Anytime you disrespect a man when it comes to money, when he was supposed to be the primary breadwinner by nature, he's supposed to protect and provide, and you become aggressive with him, you have now mentally abused him. How can he retaliate? He will have to also retaliate in a mental state. Can men equal you in a mental quarrel? No, he can't. Men do not fight mentally. Men do not fight psychological battles. They fight physical battles. So now you get to mentally abuse him. Can he physically retaliate? Can he slap the shit out of you and get away with it? No, because he goes to jail. So what happens? You start to keep niggling away at him with all this broke ass and you don't have what you provide and blah, 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 blah. You then start to call it, oh, he's intimidated by me. No, he's not afraid of you. You are mentally destroying him, whether you know it or not. This is what happens. So we have to understand these are the relationship dynamics that we have to deal with in a modern society where the male and the female are trying to get along. But women have been given this elevated position in society and told that they're the greatest thing. Don't settle. You know what don't settle means? Don't settle means that you should not have a man below you in educational level or in financial levels. But then what you have done, you have squeezed out the large majority of men. That's it. You literally isolated yourself in a position where most men who have the money, more money than you, don't want you. Because with your aggressive attitude to win, to be the boss bee, most men don't want that. I pointed this out in this 40-year-old woman who's looking for a man, who can't find a man even though she's successful and she's a celebrity. One of the questions that came up from a woman was, well, how do you teach your daughters? Do you teach your daughters not to get an education and not to be successful so they can get a man? The answer is no. I tell them, yes, get your education, find your man in college. Find your man when you're young, in your most fertile years, where you're desired by the best men. If you're looking for a man on the same level, identify the young boys that are going to school with you at that time, or slightly older. See how their heads are positioned. Let me help you pick that man and work with him up. Build with him going up from your early years. The standard mode of operation most women will teach their daughters right now is, you have your fun in your young years, girl. You have your fun in your young years. Fun, meaning get as much sex as you want during your young years. It doesn't mean anything else besides that. Get as much dick as you want during your young years. That is it. Let me explain why I say it like that. A lot of them go, oh no, you go do your traveling and you travel and you do all of this. Why is it that she can't do that with somebody that she's serious with? Why can't she do all of those things that you're saying that are fun? Why can't she do it with one guy that she's going to spend the rest of her life with? The answer is, yeah. In other words, it can be done. But what you're encouraging the young generation to do is to be hoes in their 20s, their best life. And so what happens? They go out and they ride every other dick and it blows their mind. It is fun. I've been there. It is fun. The problem is with women, it's a big problem because women produce a bonding chemical, a hormone, oxytocin, that bonds her to men. And when she's done this to so many different men, it is impossible for her to now settle down with one. So when it's time to settle down, all she can think about is all those crazy times when she freaking having her mind blowing by all of these different dicks. I've said this in many different videos, but I'm trying to ring it home right now. So when she gets with her one man that she has to now build and settle down with after one or two kids, she's going to get bored because the D from one man is boring. And then it clouds her brain. She's ignoring all of the other things. She ignores how her kids are going to feel if she leaves this man. She's ignoring the mental stability that this man provides. She starts to find every excuse, every little kink in the armor, she's going to find it. Every older person will tell you this. In a relationship, if you go looking for a problem, you will find it. And this basically means that if you start to focus on every single problem, even when it's minor, it's like scratching a scab, like scratching a small little freaking scratch on your hand. It's like itching, right? And you keep digging away at it until it becomes infected and it becomes a sore. Then all of a sudden, you got to freaking cut the arm off because you wouldn't stop scratching at it. That's how women trap themselves into thinking that the man ain't shit. Because her brain is searching for an excuse to get back onto that old carousel. She's searching for it. It's difficult. Is it possible to give up and to take your mind away from that? Yes. But what is a better solution? Stop sexualizing our young girls to think that that is the most important thing in the world, that sex is the most important thing in a relationship. Because I can tell you, it isn't. Does it feel good? Does it make you bond? Yes. But is community, is companionship, is just having somebody in your space, that feeling of security. Are these things not the most important thing? Is the look on your kid's face when they see their father in the house, when the father's bouncing them on their knee, or when they throwing them in the air or playing dolly house with your daughter? That shit is priceless. But if you kick the man out and you bring some strange man in the house and he's bouncing your daughter on your knee, you don't think that's a little unnerving for you? And what do? You give that up because you kept scratching that little itch, because you had to get him out of the house. And so what happens? 3-4 years down the line, you ran through around 4 or 5 different these guys. It becomes boring. You realize that there's no value in it because none of these men would commit to you. And now you screwed yourself. Because by then, your husband, your baby daddy, has had a baby with another woman or married to another woman, and you're still left with you and your child, empty, sour. And I see this story so many times. It's not funny. So anyway, guys, listen. I don't want to make this a long one. I just want to show one more video.
So you wake up early in the morning to go to work to pay for a house that you're never at. And you pay for a car that primarily gets you from and to work, correct? The government takes anywhere from, let's say 30 to 50% of your wages. And then there's things like VAT, which is basically your money getting taxed that was already taxed. You save up your whole life for a pension, which at the end of the day, the government takes 40 to 50% of that. Then in your elder years, you're living off canned soup and fucking bread because that's all you can afford. And then you get your state pension, which you can't get until you're like 180 years old. And even with that, if you die before you get it, you can't even pass it down to your kids. The government takes it. We are all getting scammed so fucking bad. It's almost comical. People don't see this shit. How can you work 40 or 50 hours a week, especially nowadays, to pay for fucking nothing? So figure 200 hours a month, you give your life to a corporation, and then halfway through the month, you're struggling to get to payday. Sounds pretty fucking familiar, doesn't it? We're giving our lives away for nothing. It is a scam. We're losing more by going to work than staying our asses home. All a big scam.
I'm glad a woman said it. I've heard the same message from a few men online as well, but this message is very clear. You need to decide what type of quality life you want, ladies. You want to give your life away to a corporation and live it in quiet desperation, all on your own or with a child? Or do you prefer to suffer through this life with a man who's going to take half of the burden away from you? That's technically what you should be looking at. Those are your two choices. But for that to occur, you got to give up something as well. There's a small price to pay. You got to be nice. You got to respect him. Okay? Don't give me the shit about, oh, I got to cook and clean. Listen, I cook and clean. And because we have two sources of income, we have a full-time nanny here. The point is that everything is easier when you have a mate, when you have a man. But all you need to do is compromise. That's it. Because all relationships are based on compromise. The shitty thing is you women have put this word behind compromise and you've called it settling. Well, why should I settle for that? Why should I settle for that? I want you to eliminate the word settle and replace it with compromise. Because there is no relationship worth having where you don't have to compromise something. Otherwise, you're just a selfish shit that prefer to just keep taking and taking. And the only thing that keeps taking and don't give anything back, that word is called a parasite. So either you're a parasite or a human being who's here to work with another human being in order for you to get through this life and pass on your DNA and live as best and as happy as possible, or you're a freaking parasite. Those are your only two choices. Which one are you? I'm hoping you're a human being. And I'm hoping you take this message, go out there and work with a man. He won't be perfect. He will not be perfect. I can tell you that right now. And whether you take man A, B, C, D, or G, whatever, none of them are going to be perfect. You have to give up something in order to get better in return. Because going through this life alone, my friend, it is not freaking easy. And it's going to get worse. I can assure you it's going to get worse. Things are going to keep getting more and more expensive. Like this woman says, you're going to keep getting screwed by every government, every single political party that comes into effect, whether it's Democrat or Republican or conservative, whatever the hell you want to call it in your country. It's only going to get worse. Because politicians don't care about people. They care about corporations which sponsor their position in government. And as long as that happens, we are going to get screwed as civilians. Okay, guys, like the video on your way out. Of course, let's have a discussion. That's what my shows are about. Ask me as many questions as possible so we can build a great community where we can support each other. Okay, so I'll see you in the next one. And remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. Okay, cheers.